Always starts with a smile. My name's Ads. This is Ricky Kaminsky. Welcome to Game of Coins. Winter is coming. How is everybody doing? You all right, Ricky?
I'm fine. Gonna get comfy.
Good. Look at the
Get into
picture there, mate.
this.
What
Before
are
we
you
get
looking?
into this, we're gonna put this on there, and we'll get this down, and let's get some crypto shizzled.
Get the shit from the hip. So, as we were saying, we were just talking a little bit before about advertising, wasn't it? Really, about Google advertisement being banned.
Google have been banning advertising. I'm just quickly while we're here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can put this into the UK Crypto Squad, and I'm going to put this in Watch Party. See if it floats. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Um, but
Amazing.
but apparently, what we can do is any link in. I don't know if anybody joins in. What they can do is they can watch what we're doing on here. Oh, it's a shame if Watch Party did a thing where it went you could add other people, then the whole group could watch.
Brilliant.
That would be amazing. Yeah. So Google
Right.
have decided, in their infinite wisdom, to put the kibosh on ICO's advertising on their platform. Just a reminder, a massive caveat actually for anybody who's thinking of starting a business online. If you don't own the platform, you don't own anything. So if it's a case of, I've got cryptoschool.co, yeah, .co.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing is, if it came down to it and Facebook said, sling your up, and Google said sling your up, I still got my website, to do my thing with, um, if you can build a massive group page on Facebook, and they changed the rules, and you wiped out overnight. There was a really nice group actually, and it's all good. It was very touchy feely, sort of Pinteresty, Tarty Doris stuff. It was very
Mm-hmm.
nice, and yeah, Facebook kind of put the kibosh on it. But I mean, for me, the thing is, right. So why you got to think, why are Facebook and Google trying to slow down everything there, or stop, halt it?
Well,
For
they're all, it's quite clear they're on the side of the bankers. They're still in fiat and they're not into cryptocurrency. And it's holding on to the old ways and the struggle that we're going to come through as we come through. And these players have a fundamental effect on everything. It affects the day to day woolliness of the information that we're putting out there, personal touches, people leading with the hearts, and
yeah,
trust and all the things with friends. So it's very effective in cooling down the market.
well, we don't always have the same opinion, which is great, because this is the thing about different positions, different perspectives give you a wider view. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that my thinking is, that they know crypto is here to stay, but they're trying to slow it down because ultimately, at the end of the day, and the big signifier for me with this was South Korea. The last FUD that we had, was it about a month ago, a month and a half ago, with the exchanges and everything. So, oh no, it's all been shut down and everything else like that.
Yeah.
No, they can't shut. They don't want to shut it down. They want to tax it. They want to tax everything. And that's the core of everything, because without taxes, then, they can't go out and have posh dinners and buy fancy suits. The powers that be, So the thugs that we call government, yeah, in their cartels, yeah, those guys, yeah, they are trying to slow it down and impede the progress. And to be honest, it's working.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it really. I'm really thinking that that is the fact, and that's why I mentioned market cap. I mean,
Mhm.
if you look at I'm just looking at screen here, just for anybody else watching. If you look at the total market cap, it's it's significantly down, and if
It's not including South Korea as well. Wasn't there a few of the exchanges for the total market cap taken out of the equation? What?
yes, yeah, there was a lot of yeah, that had, and there was an adjustment made for that. And the thing is, the Asians are they're crazy for the crypto. They love the crypto, uh, the funny thing is looking at the current total market cap, the pattern of the waves. Yeah, it doesn't look it doesn't look natural. There's no Elliott waves. There's no.
I was counting the Elliott waves on the way up the other day, and it just blurred out into kind of a 67 and dropped. It's
Yeah,
really. I was literally counting them yesterday, and I couldn't see that. I saw a kind of wobbly six, and then it's really unnatural.
it
Very, very
it
unnatural.
is. It feels very unnatural at the moment, and then like we're saying the markets, we do not control them. The
Thank you. This is one of my favourite subjects at the moment because I am aware of all the information I'm absorbing online and all the people I'm listening to. But fundamentally, we don't control the market. It's centralised. It all goes off the BTC when they decide to sell, and they keep to the patterns, and they have cycles in the news, etc. It's a pattern. We don't control it. We are just participants on where the energy, where the money, where the liquidity goes into which gap. But it's not natural, is it? It's really not natural.
no, no, and I don't think it's gonna. I'm a
30 seconds. Hang
purist.
on, on them.
Oh no, no, it's cool. It's cool. Dun, 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 dun. I'll do some backing music, and this is not vodka.
There we are. Just my phone popping in.
Super.
Super duper.
A funny thing as well, I think that's interesting, with all the ETFs and all the kind of standard stock market derivatives that have come into play in cryptos. It's so far away from the original Satoshi Nakamoto white paper of a peer-to-peer digital currency.
Yeah.
The idea is, and I can sense this, and I'm coming up on my sort of year anniversary of being in this. Right, like really start when I started paying attention properly, and the optimism and hope that I had back a year ago, and I'm really not fudding, was that everyone was behind the Satoshi Nakamoto vision. It was very much that vibe going on. Go on, what were you
I
going to
think
say?
I think
Ed?
I've got an insight into this one. I think it's we had the liberty movement and all the people coming up with what it's for to change the world, not to be controlled, and this is the technology we're going to use. Now with us, yeah, this year's generation, we are at the beginning of the whatever wave, whatever fucking Elliott wave we're in, of people's adopting, yeah. But they're coming from a world of working, yeah, and they're bringing the knowledge that they have onto the blockchain and its centralized business models. So they're comfortable, they understand how to redo the old models onto the blockchain, and people are going, no, 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 I don't want that. Someone's doing something decentralized, and it's just right. This is how it can be done, and it's bringing the old thoughts with you into the market and trying to replicate it. It's far off. Some people don't know about Satoshi, and they don't know about why it was created and these kind of things, and they're bringing the old head in, and they're wasting a lot of the time, and there's a lot of failed projects that are getting done by somebody who goes, right, no, do you know what, I don't have to control this, I'm going to take a little bit of tokens, I'm going to let it run itself. And that's what Satoshi is to me. It's the ability to be able to run what you want to do. No one's stopping you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. For me, it's permissionless and democratic currency. Getting back to the thugs in government and their cartel, where they can print their own money, but Lord help me if I make a print of their money as well and make my own myself. That I will be punished severely. I will be you know, punished in their court and you know, reprimanded and have my liberty taken. Yeah, for doing something that they do. And the thing of it is that I think what we probably need to do is start re-educating people as what is actually going on financially in the world, what is actually happening, and you know the insidious things like interest rates.
Yeah.
Interest rates are a hidden tax. Now, the inflation can be good for creating jobs and employment and things like that. The country needs to spend money to make those things happen. But you know, people are a little bit losing sight of the fact that the current state of austerity we're in the UK is born of the 2008 subprime mortgage crash that happened. That was the trigger for Satoshi writing the white paper in the first place. So that's the thing. Now,
at that time, it was the perfect time for the white paper to come out, wasn't it? Really,
absolutely.
Looking for answers and problem solution. It came around to 2008, so it is really the answer, the new model coming out, and when everyone's going, look, what do we do now? And what they didn't do is change because they haven't built infrastructure. In 2008, I mean, when it blows again, we haven't changed what we were doing.
No.
Bigger, harder, and there is another way. And it's when societies collapse and currencies collapse when people don't have faith in the currency. Yeah, it's all to do with faith, and you back that. It's printed money, and the economy is built on faith. Now, when we start seeing the erosion of faith in our governments, things like that, the dollar, the pound, whatever they're representing, will fall down because of these tactics. And when it comes back again, and they haven't dealt with it, really got to wake people up to, okay, we've built the infrastructure now. There is another way.
There's something. There's a curious part of something. It's actually called the Deutsche Bundesbank, right? And what it is the Deutsche Bundesbank is a banking museum. It's a museum of banks. I'm gonna put a link in here, right? And what they do is part of, like, you know, like museums do this thing where they put like a timeline and show you know, the Romans were here and the Celts were here and everything else like that. There's a thing in the Bundesbank, and it's a graphic of all the fiat currencies that have
the longevity of coins as well and currencies. I mean, isn't the dollar one of the longest running coins? You know, they all have with any interest. You have a finite time for how long these coins can last, and the dollar's one of the longest lasting ones.
Well, the thing is that, well, the dollar, I mean, if it's backed, then it's backed. You know, it's backed by something, and that's the whole idea of that gives something in value. That how a lot of people don't even realize how money came into existence. You know, basically, what happened was, you got some, you had some gold. You know, you sold some livestock, and you went to market and you sold some bits and bobs, and you sold it, and you got some silver, and you got some gold, and you got a few bits and bobs of this, and then what happened was you kept them at home. But then what happened? Your neighbour, who didn't like you. What happened was your neighbour who didn't like you knew you had the money, and he'd come over and said, "Give me your money, or I'll beat you up, and I'll kill your family," or he'd just do that anyhow. So what happened was, you know, smart cookies see an opportunity, and they say, right, okay, well, I've built this great big room that's really strong. I've got like 20 men around it. Yeah, no buggers getting in it, right? So if you leave me your gold, or your silver. And then what I'll do is I'll issue you a chit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a vellum. It was a chit. Yeah, yeah, the chit. Pardon?
You know about the two sticks, how it all started on the little notches?
Oh, and not yeah, but there was that. But I'm on about. I'm talking more a bit more up to date about paper money. You know,
Okay, yeah. I thought
yeah.
chip was the word.
No,
Sticks.
well, a chit is like a ticket. And
Okay.
basically, it's like an IOU. So what would happen was you take that IOU, and that would be easier to hide
Yeah.
than the gold would. So what you do is they'd roll that up and stick it in a hole in the wall and cement it back up or what, and just keep it in there. And that was how they kept it. And then what had happened was is you went to market again and you thought, well, hang on, we need a cow. We need a cow and we need some chickens. So it's like, but I don't want to go get the gold, because if we go get the gold and the highwayman catches, then they'll rob us. I'll keep this chit, I'll keep it in my knickers. You know what I mean? In my knickerbockers. So I'll stick it in there, and then so they go to market and they say, "Do you know this? Do you know this guy who's got the strong box?" And they go, "Yeah, I keep my gold with him too." And essentially that's how it happened. He says, "Oh, well, I've got a receipt here for some gold there, and how much? How much? All right, okay. Oh, man, this is all right. I've got the right amount here." So you just give him the chit over. He'd take the chit over, and then he'd go pick the gold up himself. So that's how the circulation started happening. But then somebody else said, "Hang on, well, there's a charge for keeping your gold in that strong box as well. So it's like a little nibble off it." And that kept on going. That kept on going on, and somebody else made one, and then people started saying, "Oh well, yeah, I know him with his strong box because he helped me build mine." Yeah, and we share soldiers. You know what I mean? And this sort of thing, and because really it was the lords and the feudal setup that these were the guys that had it all. It's classic Robin Hood, Saint John, not Saint John, King John job. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So it's that carry on there, and so we got that way of doing the money thing. So the money's actually backed by something. It's circulating, and it's very much backed by tangible assets. Right now, this is the weird. This is part of the reason why people don't get crypto, is because it's intangible, and it go on. You've got a point there.
You're going to say this, you say it's not backed by something. It's quite a big point, actually.
Yeah.
People that come in, not backed by anything, it's backed by the cost of electricity. Let's be frank.
Proof of work, the work.
Yeah, the work. So
and the equipment.
It costs to create, to get it onto the system. Now you've got the dollar. Everyone uses the dollar because it's the global currency. Let's be honest, yeah. It's backed by the petrol. Yeah,
petrodollar. Yeah.
Now, I'm a bloke, you're a bloke, this is a conversation. It's the end of petrol. We're seeing the Tesla cars come out. We're seeing the change in society and where it's going to, and all these suppressed technologies. So, I mean, we just had Venezuela come out and do, was it a scammy ICO with petrol?
Yeah. I know a whole country trying to do that, and it's backfired on them horribly. I think on a global front, but you know what I mean. Maybe not so much in South America, but they were scuppered, and the reason that they're scuppered is Venezuela is because they're very much suppressed by the US dollar because of the region that they're in. That the US doesn't like, if the US doesn't like how you do business and everything else like that, they embargo you. They stifle your business. In with whatever instrument they can use. But yeah, so getting back to the whole fiat thing, yeah, about things being backed by things, then that's super important. And what crypto is really backed by is by the will of the users, who are the people who understand the liberty, yeah, the democracy, and the permissionless aspects of it. And that to me that's massive, is the permissionless aspect of crypto, because You know,
We've been put in boxes for so
it,
long, and this bloody Plato's cave malarkey of just seeing everything from your perspective. If we
mhm.
can have Satoshi's true mission and go, right, I know fundamentally that there's no one that can stop me from going onto this computer and taking part in creating businesses that are more simple, are better, and to replace the old models. It's a change of the way that we work, and you cannot stop me. Yeah. So when we're looking at the future, people know these fundamental things before they start looking at businesses. Then if they can see a business model with its foot stuck in the old world, then they instantly need to go to look for something that is more liquid,
Yeah,
that isn't boxed off, that isn't the old models of what we've been doing. So it is understanding. Look, it's completely decentralized. People are making half in, half that models, things that don't belong on the blockchain. But if you get something pure and you have a pure, very simple idea, which Emily Excellence, what that voting system, clear poll, is it?
yeah. I mean, this is something that's massive. That I think. Uh, you look at the election system the way we had. I can't remember what her name was in the last general election we had in the UK. Something Rudd. She had 6 recounts.
Oh, it's disgusting what they can do.
Yeah, she wanted 6 recounts because she didn't get the result that she wanted first time. So, so
And they
let's
have
have a
so
recount. You know, but this is practical application on the blockchain. The thing that I worry about is that there's a lot of chatter seems to be around realistic timescales for development, and I think that might have taken a bit of luster out of the market for the people who are looking for the quick dollar. You know, because you think about the people who came in at beginning of December when it's what I call the Thanksgiving telltale tattle sort of pattern.
Oh, they're like Christmas. I've got my Christmas bonus. I'm gonna get the special drop.
Well, no, for me, I started noticing it, and I thought, oh, hang on, yeah, and I will be looking at it again this year at Thanksgiving if we have similar sort of patterns again. What it was, you know, like people coming, kids coming home for Thanksgiving in the States and going, look at this, I bought some Bitcoin, you know, and I bought it and it was like $3,000 and then it went up to $6,000, Dad. Well, son, you're gonna have to show me how to do this. I've got $50,000 that I don't know what to do with. So what
Yeah.
happened is over Thanksgiving, this kind of mimetic virus spread throughout all of the states where they're all going, oh yeah, and there was this massive crypto explosion, and that was the end of November, and you knew it was because they were all spouting the same coins. You know,
Oh
it
my
was
god.
all about frigging
Remember that
Ripple.
transition we had from Ripple to Tron to something else, and they were all catching them at the end and just going boom, boom, boom. I was like, do not touch any. And Luke was like, listen, if you've heard about it, so's every other motherfucker. It's right at the end. Don't touch it.
Don't
We're
touch
like,
it.
oh, just boom. And they had stories of them going from one to the because they'd lost it. And we're
Yeah,
thinking, shit. Right, where's the next one? Boom, down again,
yeah.
down.
When
And we're thinking,
Moon, you know,
Moon went Lambo.
Moon when Lambo, you know,
Like
and
that.
that's
There's not
it.
enough talk of that. But I think what you're noticing is the people that have the curiosity at the beginning of their life. I think it's what is there? Is the average age 31, 32?
What
Male
for crypto?
crypto.
Male, yeah, male 30s crypto, but yeah.
So
Although a lot of people I'm teaching are actually 50s.
oh yeah, but
Yeah, yeah.
the distinctive
Because
thing. I
then,
think that effect happened in March where they had bigger pots. So someone can go, I'm 30, I put in this much money, I'm gonna go home and tell my parents at Christmas. They're gonna put in something considerably bigger for me in comparison, but smaller in comparison for them, but still a large amount. So,
yeah,
it only takes fewer people higher up for the real movement in the market, and that's the way that information comes in. Ingenuity and changes in systems come from younger people. That's as simple as it is. So that's very
It's
interesting.
millennials, isn't it? It's the millennial thing. You know what I mean?
The
And
millennial.
but the thing that I read a report that said that millennials actually trust Bitcoin as a retirement investment over other for
Absolutely. Well, do you know
you
why that
know
is? Because if you know, there's 0.02 Bitcoin for every person on the earth.
0.02.
Of a Bitcoin for every person on the earth currently. So
Yeah,
it's nothing. So drop in the ocean. If everything from one world from one fiat to the other,
yeah,
you would be an average person with what £100 or something like that at the moment. I'm
yeah,
not doing them off the top of
yeah.
my head. It's it's very interesting to think of that. You know, can only get bigger, can't it?
Well, yeah, it can do. Yeah, and I think.
Fiat's going to make a big comeback though. I've got a
It,
big
it,
belief.
it is doing it. It is doing it at the minute, but like I say, with the whole thing with Facebook and Google stifling ICOs, specifically ICOs,
Mm.
but Facebook, Google's latest thing is that it is stifling and not advertising to advertise ICOs, but Facebook has decided that it's going to carte blanche the lot. It's ICOs. You couldn't advertise your as an affiliate. You couldn't advertise your Coinbase affiliate link and get sign-ups via that and
How do you feel about that subconsciously? Not from my point of view. From if I was the average person on Facebook, I
um
have a mixed bag about that because Facebook's not exactly the go-to for information, and the amount of
no,
shit I have to wade through to find something good.
yeah,
I think it's good for the take my head out of it. I think it's good for the community in general. Maybe not for my position, but I don't think Facebook is a platform that. Um, I think it's just full of shit. Basically, I don't think it's just quality. It's full of shit.
I don't no. Well, the gold's in the groups anyhow. So the thing is, or it would be if you didn't have all the Thanksgiving noobs who have got to January and had the arse ripped out of them, and they're like, oh, hang on, here's the reality of the situation of the market. That it's not. It's got to be propped up somehow, and meanwhile you've got your institutionalized money that is there, and it's taking it out hand over fist. Ben Semchi mentions something about the um, these really dirty stocks that they're trying to back up with and pay off with crypto. So basically, they're robbing the quick crypto pot to to to
Wow.
to
Cover their asses.
cover their asses on the regular stock market because they're in such debt with that. So this is the thing. This is what when I'm looking at the total market cap, that's what I'm thinking is potentially going on now. How long will this how long will it keep happening? And I think what will happen is generally crypto people will regroup and think on and say, you know, what I'm hoping what will happen is the Ripple XRP people, right? If they there'll be a degree of those guys getting educated, and I keep seeing a lot of stuff about Ripple becoming used in transactions and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
does concern me. Because if Ripple did become a viable thing, you still can't get away from the fact that the guys who created the token, the XRP token, own 60 to 70% of it.
Let me just jump in there because I've got a little bit of additives for that. The original creator of the technology and the CEO have both left the company. They are
Brad
not.
Garlinghouse, is it? Brad?
They left. They had an out of court settlement. They said, "I want nothing to do with this in the future," and it's gone. And they left. So why would you leave your technology? Yeah, because you don't want the entire world to hate you when you do something horrible. Yeah, your name. Now, one more thing about this one is, did you hear about the decentralized exchange of Ripple, the copy version?
The what? Say that again.
There's an ICO for decentralized Ripple.
No, not heard of that one.
The decentralized model of the technology coming out at the moment. So I've just been looking into that one, but it kind of stops the. Well, they have a sell-off, don't they, every month? They have is it 300 million to a billion? They sell
Yeah,
off every month. And
yeah,
as soon as they pump it with the news, they sell it on the dip. It's yeah, it's very very short spikes. It's a business, isn't it? It's the media fronting it. I
yeah.
was watching CNN. I wasn't watching CNN. Let's be honest. I was having a giggle at some crypto news when they watched CNN, and they were literally had the TV screen out and and they were telling you how to buy Ripple,
How
where
to
to
buy
go.
Ripple? Yeah, yeah. I
It was
saw that.
oh,
I
so
know, I know, I know.
believe it. Okay, so crypto's horrible, but Ripple's really really good.
Ripple's all right, mate. Yeah,
The technology is fantastic, but they're using the technology, aren't they? They're not
yeah.
using the currency. It's just the
They're
banking
not.
signing contracts saying that we're going to use this to build behind.
Absolutely, definitely not. It's
Then it could be the next mountain boxer. Because if something like that happens, it would. What do you reckon it would do to the market when it happens? Because I think
I mean, the thing is, I don't think, I think because of what Ripple is, and the banks are actually using the Ripple technology, but that is nothing to do with the token, with the
yeah,
XRP token. They are
um,
they are separate of each other. So the thing is, I'm kind of if it's being used by the banking, my skate, it's all about speed of transactions. Do you know what I
mm.
mean? And Ripple, the transactions that Ripple does, they're fast. It's faster than Bitcoin. Mind you,
I
you
agree.
know, somebody's Ken Dodd's faster than Bitcoin. You know, but bless his cotton socks. But yeah, it's a kind of it's a cartel, isn't it? It's another way of
Of
manipulating
course, it's going
manipulating
round and
people.
they're doing it in groups and
Yeah,
it's nonsense.
yeah.
It,
It's
I think
not.
it's the bankers as a conglomerate coming together to front that they're signing agreements with them to use the technology.
Yeah,
That's increasing the spike, and because the founders can take out point 0.7 of a billion, 1 billion to point 0.7 of a billion dollars or point 0.3 of a billion dollars in one go. I think there's going to be a little bit of pushback, cashback. It was the fastest, one of the richest billionaires in the world, isn't he? That's
yeah,
on the
yeah,
Forbes
yeah,
the
yeah,
Forbes.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, 70 billion straight away.
Yeah,
Boom.
70 billion straight away when it was riding high, and it was like in December, but I'm just like, and there was the whole there was the robbery on the exchange. There's a robbery on the Japanese exchange. Was it $594 million worth of coin tokens?
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest heist ever.
And it was nothing comparable to the fiat world. It made me laugh. If you've seen that, you've seen
No, it's
the
bigger
value.
than. No, but if like some geezer's got some black balaclavas on, yeah, and went and did a
Yeah.
bank and got 594 million quid, yeah, out of it, it'd be like, Jesus, let's make a film about this where we drive around in minis, yeah, right,
Mhm.
and wear fancy suits, and can we have Guy Ritchie direct it? You know what I mean? It's like it is, isn't it? It's one of those things, but yeah. So for me, it's like. It's the Wild West. Yeah, it's still the Wild Wild West. But the thing is, it's you see those archetypal films in the Wild Wild West where it's the guy who wants the railroad who does all the killing of the people. It's the parallels behind that,
When
Uh,
do you reckon it's going to be a growing trend? Because there was the Ukrainian guy. The Ukraine had a lot of original founding from the blockchain industry, didn't they? That
yeah,
really moved quickly. I said I'm half Ukrainian. I don't know anything about my culture. I was about to bring it up. But they arrested gangsters, took the Ukrainian exchange guy off the street, and it is so easy to get their money. It's like, whoa, okay, the guy's got a gun to my head. You've got 20 words inside your head for your key, and
yeah,
you've got your Bitcoin privacy key. I am going to rinse you right now. And that was the tip of the iceberg.
yeah.
We're having people boast about. Have you heard these stories, mate? When Moon, and you're getting these young guys coming in that have made some money already, and they're just flipping it 5 times, and they're going, "Fucking hell, I'm out the game. I've just made a fucking cool £1 million." And 2 days later, they're just getting two guys pulling up in cars, going into the house, absolutely taking a step, put them to them, and just rinsing them. Just little country houses in the middle of nowhere.
I
If you're on
know.
Facebook, going, I've just made £1 million, and it only takes 20 words to get it out of my head.
Yeah, and this is part of that thing,
Yeah,
you know. You should never ever reveal how well or how badly you're doing.
no, because everybody knows at this point. If you heard all the presenters and all that kind of stuff, and they're coming on, they're going, "Yeah, I've lost half my stack," because they have. I think let me jump a little bit further forwards. Someone said this to me: "For time in the market is better than time learning the market."
Time in the market is, yeah, and from all everything that I've been looking at it. I'm thinking May is when we're going to see a change, I think. But you see, this depends on these ETF funds and all these derivative nonsense bollocks that these banking people, the institutionalized money are doing, leveraging the growth of Bitcoin. But they're not doing that at the minute because it's just going sideways. It's
Yeah,
bit of
yeah. It's only
sideways Bitcoin is always a good thing, though. I think.
yes, 10 mil a day. Have you seen that lovely pattern? I was opening it up
Yeah, yeah.
9 to 10, and I was come back up every 6 hours after that. It's going to be in the red now, and I was clicking it open. It's like, open my eyes, yeah, it's in the red. It's going to be the green now. If you look at it twice a day, morning, evening. I
Hmm.
mean, something last night when China were waking up. Was it China wake up first? Or America? Someone was waking up, and you could just see the
Asia
market.
wakes up around about 1 o'clock UK time. So, because I looked into it when I was day trading, I was thinking to myself, let's.
You've got to be ready when China wakes up. I was all in the voting time. I'm really when China woke up.
But do you know what? I could not be asked with like uh, doing the whole sort of like 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. Like it'd be like working nights. I've done that
Telling
before.
you,
Who wants that shit? You know what I mean? So.
YouTube.
So yeah, I mean, what I think, what I like to do, I'll just share this screen with you actually, um,
Very much.
and the screen is just to show you on here. Right, what we've got is we've got a rather
But
distinguished ads there.
we've been a bit sensible, haven't we, today?
Yeah, we have been a bit
We
sensible.
have been a little bit calm and collected.
But
Which
on
is
this pure unadulterated chart, I've got it on the not on the Japanese candlesticks. I've got it on the Heikin Ashi because that tends to show me how bullish or bearish the market is. I've got the Bollinger Band set up here as well to see the width of the action and to see where we're at. And you can see that narrowing on the Bollinger there to see that's the
yeah,
that's the that's
200.
that's Bitcoin's market cap. That's the kind of where it's been squeezed. So you can see where it's been squeezed,
Yeah,
and when it
yeah,
and then when it opens up. But here, generally, what it does is it averages the candles out in more like a moving average sort of setup. But you can see that it's a more yay or nay, Boolean sort of. It's not going to say, oh well, it's a bit red, it's a bit green. It's kind
I
of an
noticed that
it's
it's
an
the main.
averaging. It's an averaging candle, and you can see there. Look at that. Now look, we've got the start of
That looks
this
beautiful.
this little candle here. Now, what we have, if I just zoom in, is
That looks sexy as fuck, mate.
green candle, but it's what cracky. I can never remember the names of them. It's like a spinning top. But what this means is, it's like the thinner that volume, the width of the candle, the thickness of the candle is the volume, and you can see here the market's getting to the point where the sell-offs, the sell-offs happened here. A lot of sell-off there, a lot of sell-off there, less sell-off, even less sell-off, and now we're at that point where they're buying up again. So, I mean,
There's a lot of confidence for that little spike inside that thing to happen.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'd expect that. I'd expect that to go back up the same sort of, same sort of percentage, some sort of price range as say from this bottom of this green candle to the top of this green candle here. So what you can see there. So from that range from there to there, that's what I'd kind of expect here. The whole but then if you look at the pattern that's formed here, then you can see it's almost following it's almost following it looks you could think of it as actually being bearish. It is extremely bearish, but all told, and look how it's coming to, for me it's coming to the bottom of the Bollinger Bands here, so the bottom of the market. Once it dips out here, then it'll pop back in, but it might just pop back up again there. So if we could get a similar sort of growth, so let's have a look. I'm thinking, so if I get at the bottom of that candle there, and we can imagine it does a similar sort of 23%. So we're looking at $10,800 dollars on Bitcoin round about the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
If that were, if that
barriers as well, we've got to remember why it fell. We had the £10,000, and it was a big.
Oh yeah, rounding things off.
Yeah, because human psychology, and we had the 20. And I remember thinking, if you look back at it now, and you were seeing that 18, 19, 18, 19, 19 and a half, you should have just gone, right, boom, sold, tether, fiat, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But things about developing whale time in the market. No one starts off as a whale, but it's selling and understanding, being in for the second wave where you can sell at the top. You do understand it. This hodl is it's for newbies. It's for your first year, isn't it? Really, or your second year. You think about
it's a funny one. It depends.
All the things are around this year, and they're saying, "Okay, I've learnt that." And now they're starting to use tether, and they are making and the one after the other saying, "Do you know what, guys? I've learnt enough to become a whale."
But I don't like tether though. You see, the proposition is that tether is backed by USD. Do you know what I mean? And by for one tether there is $1 in tether's bank account. They don't have a bank account.
And they don't have any oversight. What was it? Where you come in and you do your
auditing.
Auditing. They've had no auditing.
They've had no auditing. So it's
it's like you can't refuse to do auditing. It smells of fish, like another Ripple, another Mt. Gox, another this kind of stuff. So there's a guy called Miro something or other, and I follow him, and we're friends on Facebook, and I'm sure I'm going to pass him over to you. And he has the blockchain on the Tether scandal. He documents through Facebook posts when they bought, when they move, and just how irregular it is, and it just doesn't make any sense. They're just constantly patching things up, and they'll disappear. There'll be another bit connect, and it's gone. And it's seeing all these possibility drops. You've got your Ripple, you've got your Tether, we've had our BitConnect, we've got loads of other things. Seeing
Can we
how
make an amendment to when we say Ripple? Can we just say the bankers BitConnect?
the bank is bit, we can we
Because
can do
that's
so.
what it is, isn't it? you know.
And it's going to be on another tangent. What's this one?
But
How many countries do we talk about?
how many what?
China. How many countries do we talk about? Well, we've got China, Japan, South Korea, America, the UK. Very few other countries. Israel, Germany, France. A lot of these smaller Norwegian companies have been in it for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
We have a defined group, so it's like your World Cup. You've got 16, I'm crap at football, 32, whatever. How many squads you've got there because the media and because the information is being given out to these governments to open up the news channels in certain ways and this kind of stuff. But they're not telling other countries. So when is that next development of the next wave of countries coming in? When are we? When are we going to have Philippines are the politest people, but when sir this, sir that. When are we going to have the next people coming in? The Africans, we've got the Australians in. When are we going to have the?
Well, you have to. I mean, if you look at, I was curious to see how there's like a league, actually a league for countries who are the freest countries, the most democratic, the most open countries for the people who live in them. Funnily enough, America came 21st, and the land of the free. You wouldn't expect that. You know what I mean? And the UK we were somewhere like 12 or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, and right at number 200 was North Korea, because the thing to be aware of as well is some political ideologies are just, they are Boolean. They are on or off. That you disagree with the politics of this country, you are dead.
Yeah.
Look at China at the moment. They've had the current president, whatever is Xi Jinping. Uh,
UK, I'll just say,
yeah, and he's just made voting. He's just voted himself into power essentially until he pegs it. So,
gangster.
so the thing is, right, and he just
Oh,
no,
Jinping.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like it's feudal. It's like we'll be going back to bloody
I think we will. I think we will when they have to hold on to the old world. There will be some really, really severe consequences for
yeah.
people who are willing to relinquish power, or being stood there as figurative puppets because the system isn't. People are building things that work for cities themselves, things that are self-autonomous, that take over the roles of government, and it's just like a puppet, like the Queen of England. It's just a figurative role. The governments, when things are clear, Paul, we can build societies, and whether or not they want to officially say that this is a working country, or this country has rights and we recognise this country, or we actually don't rule it anymore, it can be taken away from them without them being able to stop it, and it's
That's part that I think that's part of the thing. The threat of crypto, to be honest, is, well, the threat of blockchain more than the threat of crypto itself. I think it is blockchain, but um, you know, I think realistically though, that it seems to me that a lot of these DApps that are being touted, I think a lot of people have ICO fatigue. And this is
yeah.
why this is why you don't mind Facebook banning it, which is why people don't kick up too much of a fuss and realise that it is censorship. Yeah,
Mm.
because you're still getting Lloyd's Bank advertising a banker's loan for starting your business for 16% APR. Now, the thing of it is once if you understand compounding interest, anything over 10% is into true compounding interest. If you can get any investment that gives you over 10%, yeah, then your quid's in. The banks, they lend you some money that they make from the air, They
Oh yeah.
manufacture it. Yeah, it's manufactured. They don't actually have the money. They magic it. They
Yeah,
magic
yeah.
it up, and then they give it to you, and then you have to pay 16% interest on that business loan or whatever. But even still, 6%. 6%.
Yeah. A lot of money. I mean, people are talking about. Okay, let's think about where we are and what industry we're in and the kind of gains that we can make. And listen, I can turn around back in the day and guarantee myself 40% on a day if I was just sat there trading and making big moves and doing that and literally taking it seriously. People, some of my family have come up to me and were telling me about stocks and saying, "Look, we're happy if we get 5 to 10% a year. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. You've got to keep it in the banks." But 1% interest a year or something daft. So the field that we're in, and
1%.
the,
1%.
it's just nonsense, isn't it? There's no real comparison to the cryptocurrency markets at the moment. You've got the forex, they're losing money. You've got the Wall Street people propping it up with money that they're making secretly in the crypto world and throwing it back in. So the interest and the amount of money you can make on just holding in good coins is just off the charts, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
there's no market that can compete with it, and that's it. Really. That's why they're all getting in.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody,
you've got to. You've got. Go on.
just besides fatigue, I don't think that this will be across the board because America's just got their first ICO out that they can participate in. Did you hear about this?
Well, it's not so much that do you know the funny thing is they could participate in all the other ICOs. It's just that the companies that were doing the ICOs didn't want to have to go with the legal infrastructure that they would need to do to comply, so that their fellow countrymen could benefit from their technology. It's a
Yeah,
little bit shitty, is that? Don't you think? You know what
I
I
do.
mean?
Yeah, massively.
You,
Massively. That's why you would not have thought it would. You would not have thought America would be the one to ban ICOs. You'd have thought, right, big bankers, the biggest transfer of wealth in the world. Right, let's just free reign, let them get what they want. Yeah, and it just didn't happen. Yeah, I thought it was crazy as hell. Crazy as hell.
I think I think as well in the UK we're very very lucky, right? Because our government is asleep at the wheel because they're too busy thinking about Brexit, right? To do anything. To do anything, Theresa May was at some kind of government, where all the yeah, where all the governments meet up. I haven't done any yet. Where all the
Yeah.
governments meet up, a G20, whatever it was, and cryptocurrencies came up in part of the conversations, and but she sound the sound bite that the news gave, it sounded like, oh, I have a prepared statement about this that someone's given me who doesn't really know what's going on. Yeah. So
Yeah.
as far as that was concerned, Theresa, yes.
Relax.
you know,
Looking for
yeah.
Theresa.
But you know,
What you want to hear is people aren't watching, people aren't looking. I mean, look
yeah.
what Russia's doing about the mining and how they're arresting the miners and trading. If you trade Bitcoin person to person on the exchanges, they're coming in with armed robberies, armed heists.
Guards. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
when they catch them doing an illegal activity, what do they do? Take a picture. Hey! So those 10 special force troops that have been hidden in the van for what 6 hours and then just suddenly come out and do that, they can afford to do that. They can afford to send people out to go get your cryptocurrency by these silly little loopholes. If we catch you physically in the act of trading, we take everything. And it's happening. It's really happening.
It is. South Korea has actually agreed to. It's planning to unban ICOs. Um,
Okay.
so they want to do that. So its
That's good.
source is familiar, but the thing is, we'll see it when it happens. If I think that's a good thing. That might be a nice little catalyst to kickstart things as well.
Yeah.
Um, uh, But yeah, I think the ICO fatigue. The thing that we need to kind of, when are we going to get the proper decentralized exchanges? I think that's the
I have the answer for you right now. We have the link on iCoco's YouTube. It's called the NEX as its ticker, the Neon Exchange. Now, what's happening now is I'm going to go quite a little tangent, and then I'm going to have to go chill with my friend, have a bit of food. We've been
yeah,
chatting
yeah,
on for. I
that's
doubled
good.
up myself this evening.
Yeah,
So when you have old models such as Binance, Bittrex, anything that's centralized, yeah,
yeah,
if your business becomes redundant, you know that your value is going to go down. There will be an incentive for people to do runners now because decentralized exchanges are coming in. And if the word was BitConnect, decentralized is the word of 2018. And if you don't have to trust someone, you're not. Because of the Neo Exchange and the speed and they're doing off-chain transactions, they can have decentralized exchanges, which they've been able to have for ages,
mm-hmm.
all the benefits of centralized, yeah. They're fast enough to get stock. They're just perfect, yeah. But you cannot change a centralized exchange into a decentralized exchange. So every single business in an old model, so saying if your foot is stuck in an old model, yeah, and someone comes up with a new model, you are in the ship. So it's finding these decentralized exchanges that can take over, really, that we don't have Mount Coxes on, that we don't have the trust in exchanges happen, the actual transfer happening on.
Yeah.
So the old models are going to change it. The answer to that question is this. Next Exchange is coming out on the Neo. It has a lottery just to be able to get into the ICO. They know it's going to be that popular. So you had to register on Monday, on the 12th. Yeah?
Yeah.
Every single YouTube presenter worth his salt has been promoting this. Yeah, there's no referral code. So these models that are coming out as the first one, first to market, decentralized exchange, as long as it's got its foundations, simple, it can just keep on changing, keep on evolving, and first to market, it'll probably remain one of the dominant ones. Every other business, dead. So yeah, they're here, mate, is your answer. They're here and they were accepting people. As of 2 minutes ago, I don't think you could register. It's just gone on to Tuesday now. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
It is a bit of a shame. It is a bit of a shame.
What was I going to say? On that note, I'm having a lovely time. I've had a lovely time. I've got my friend in there with his dog and a meal cooked for me. And I've got to love you and leave you. But Ricky, me, winter's coming. We'll keep you nice and warm. We've got a little bit of banter, a lot of knowledge, and a big heart. So, my friend, it's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Yeah, I was just looking for some little clicky thing. Come on. Final emoji. I'm going to go with just something a bit festive. I'm going to leave it.
Festive? Don't go festive, mate. The eggs are already out.
Thank you for tuning in. Oh, you got to lower your head. You got to lower your head. Thank you for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this conversation, it's just two Yorkshire blokes speaking from the heart. Please just spread the love, spread it around, show your friends, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, in the future, sometime this week.
Yeah.
Have a lovely day from all of us. Wave. Keep waving. Awkward wave.